Hello guys, so this is introduction to Flask by Ryan. Okay, so let's set up our project. It contains two folders, one is static and one is templates, and it also requires our main file that is going to be the app.py that is going to store the code of our web application. Templates will have all our HTML files and static will have our assets like JS and CSS. So let's write our app.py code. From the framework Flask, we are going to import a class named Flask, which is going to create our main application. So let's create our app as a variable, which is going to be a Flask object, which takes the currently active namespace's name, that is short for the name variable. Now let's create our URL, that is going to be slash, and on the slash URL we are going to call a view. What is a view? View is mainly a function that a server calls whenever the client hits the desired URL. So let's name it as home. Now whenever the browser will hit the URL slash, it is going to call this home function, which is going to return something. Now whatever the return it will return is going to be the response of the server whenever the client hits our web app URL slash. So let's give it a basic HTML like hey inside heading tags and a hi bro inside of paragraph tags, and let's write other views. But before, let's run our server. Let's run the code. I guess something went wrong. It gave me the error. Oh, it's a common Flask error. Let's add the port is equals to 999. It solves the bug. If Flask doesn't work normally, so just add this port 99999 and the server will perfectly run. So now let's see our changes in action by hitting this URL inside a real browser, and it is just loading, and there we go. The server has responded the h1 hey and a paragraph of hi bro. The HTML is just returned by the server as a response. So this is what happened. The client hit the URL slash and home ran and it returned the HTML. So now let's create some HTML files, because we are not going to write the whole code inside of that Python the .py Python server application. So let's add some code. I have just copy pasted it from another project of mine. It's just a random HTML file code. Just take it like that. Okay, so let's see. Now we are going to replace all this string and add the file name. For this we need a function named as render template, which we are going to import from Flask, and we are going to return the render template. It's a mistake. Okay, it is going to return the template whatever the name we provide to it. And where would it look for the template? It would look for the template inside of the templates folder. All our HTML files are supposed to be inside templates, and we add the name of the HTML file which is going to render. For our case it is home.html. So this is going to look into the templates folder for the file it is provided name, that is home.html. Now let's add some of our static files like style.css and main.js and some menu.css and other stuff if we want. We can add some other libraries like Bootstrap. Here we can copy paste the Bootstrap code provided by the GitHub and the stuff, but all our assets are supposed to be inside the static folder. Let's see what our project needs. It needs menu.css and a font awesomes all.css. So we can add a menu.css for now. This is just a demo file. I'm just showing you that how you can add things. It is going to link it like $/static/menu.css. This is how we are going to link all our static files inside of HTML. There's one more thing that I want to show you, that is one functionality of Flask when it comes to URLs. You can add variable names and whatever after the slash, and whatever name string I add after the slash would take the value of name variable, would be passed as a parameter to our view, which is home, and then we can utilize anywhere our function. So let's return the same thing, that is what we got after the slash. Let's see the changes in action by starting our server, and let's see the changes in browser. It is going to return whatever is provided after the slash. Okay, so I've stopped the code and let's run the server and see the changes in browser. So here it is just slash, let's reload to our localhost, and the URL is not found because it is no longer slash, it is slash and something, which will take the value as name. So let's add Ryan, which is my name, and yeah, the server responded the same thing. Whatever I added after the slash, it was returned to me like that.
Now let's get back to whatever we were doing, because you already know all this kind of basics. Now one thing that I haven't taught you is the Jinja 2 template engine. Actually, for example, you have a multiple templates like this home.html. What you have to do, you have to just start everything with doc type html lang is equals to n head, then the title, metas, and the links and the style. Okay, that can be minimized to the link rel is equals style sheets and no script, it is not needed. And then there is body and everything else. So what you can do, you can just for example, you have multiple files that copy the same pattern from above. Only the body content is going to change. So what you can do, you can just clear this thing. Like this is the empty body now. No footer tags. Wait. Yeah, that's it. Just simple head title, cause this thing is what it is going to be copied. The HTML is going to be copied, the body and the above things. So what we do inside in Python, we make them as templates. You are gonna see how those works in a short while. Such kind of syntax is called Jinja 2 templates. These are Jinja 2 templates engine. So here are Jinja tags, like these are \html and body, and these are HTML tags. How Jinja 2 tags start, this is the name. You can make it like block Rayan or block David or anything, but the convention is that they should be inside the name of these tags should be that of the tags they are within, because both of these blocks are inside body. So the Jinja tag will be block body and end tag. Whatever content will be between those two blocks, it is going to be replaced. We are going to see that thing in a short while. Now this is our home.html. This is the base template, and let's add more templates to it. Let's create a page.html. So for this, let's close all things that are already open. For make this page.html, to have the things that we have to copy, like this doc type html till here, we have to copy all these things. So to make this page.html possess all those things that home.html has, we are gonna start with this extends home.html. This is the Jinja tag for extending from home.html, and what we are gonna do is the main thing, block body and wait, let me adjust. Yeah, what the hell are happening? Yeah, so here is the template designs that we have. This is it. So as you can see that we have the same thing, block body and end block, and it is extending all these things within page.html. And now we can paste the thing we have cut it here. As you can see, all these materials were inside of this thing, and when I'm going to render page.html, it is going to copy paste whatever is within this block body tag, whatever is within block body till end Jinja, whatever is within these two tags, it is going to copy and paste it and add that thing between these two. That's what it does. And how it means that which block body it has to add, this home.html, whatever template it extends from block body, and whatever the content is within this thing is going to be all these things is going to be cut, and what will happen behind the scenes, they will get pasted within these two things like this. But let's not make things crappy. I already told you the thing needs to be inside this. You can also have many things. The advantage of it is not only body, you can even alter JavaScript, like it has script, you can enter as block script, and then these are the Jinja tags: block script and end block. These are showing error because I don't yet have Flask, but they work very fine. Now another thing that I have to do is another Jinja block that I have to define is block script for it. Here, like this one is one tag is for body. This one can be of script. You can add anything like var x is equals to 4 and console.log x. Okay, this one is for block script and this one will be block body. Now let's save these things, Control S. Just my editor is a bit funky and it made it like those. These needs to be enter. That's the same thing, the white space does not matter. Var x, this thing, all these block script thing which is within these blocks, this is going to copy and pasted to the home.html's block script thing, and the body will be copy and pasted here. So let's save it. It is corrupting. What the hell? I can save it here and let me save that to D. Let's save it. Once it is saved, now let's render this template. Inside app.py, instead of saying name, we are going to host that thing in slash and render template named as page.html. Template. Now a question that might arise is that why page.html only? Because it is extending from home.html and it has block.script. I cannot make this home.html because this is the template. It is a base template. We are not going to show that. We are going to show page.html. So let's do not waste time and let's start our server. As I said, let's see everything that I explained to you in action. Yeah, oh, here it is. Let me open it. What happened? Shit. There was, oh yeah, here it is. Internal server error. What the hell is that shit? One thing I did wrong. Oh, sorry, it's not extend, it extends. I just missed that. Now let's reload that thing. I'm going to stop it. Stop code run, and then I'm going to run it again. Yeah, now it is perfect. It was extends actually. Now as we can see here. Now let's check out our source code. As you can see, the same thing happened. This is the style tag that it was, and between the script, as you can see, it was nothing but it copy and pasted these things. Isn't it awesome? And between the body tags, it was nothing but this thing got copy and pasted, and it extended from home.html. The template name was page.html. This is how Jinja 2 works. Okay, now so I now think that you already know a lot of basics. So let's start out with a new project. Let's name that project as our input. Whatever it actually is going to do, it is going to be a simple Flask, a simple HTML form. The user enters things in that form, and we are going to encrypt it using Python library. So what are we going to do? We are going to convert it to binary using Python. However, this can also be done using JS, but let's keep things very symptomatic. So at the slash, there will be not page.html this time. We have to create a new HTML. Let's create a new one. We will need a new template as well. So the template file, the names of that be base.html, and the name of the page which we are going to do is form.html. HTML. Yeah, that's perfect. And let's be inside base.html and do the regular type thing, HTML, and head, the title, let's name the title be form, or let's make it binary, and then space, make it autosave, yeah, the binary, and then there needs to be style and some meta characters like meta, meta, what was that, viewport, etc. And there will be the CSS, and that would be the JavaScript. And since we don't need JavaScript for that small project, so let's omit script. We don't need that. And in the style too, we don't need much. Let's add body. So our body thing is done most probably. Now what we are gonna do is the Jinja tags, block body, we are gonna distribute it within blocks, and ENDBLOCK. And let's go to our another that is gonna be our base HTML file, not a template. So it is going to extend from the template named base. Extends. This time this is not home because we are going to copy paste from base. So let's add base.html and end the tag with a percentage. Now let's start what we are going to edit. We are going to edit the block element, that is block body element. Person. Wait. So that it will not remove the space, it will keep the things as it is. ENDBLOCK person. Here it is. Now let's add the things that we had. H1. We can H1. Let's make it binary, and then let's add a text area, and with the placeholder is equal to enter text, and let's see how it looks. Let me expand it. Here it is. It is not rendered yet, so it may see this, but you will not see that in server. It is just for HTML. So let's let's make it style a bit for the everything be in center. So star text align ratio center and something like that. This may take time, so let's keep things short. It is perfect. Now how will the server will get what we are trying to do? How will the server get our text that is inside of it? So for that we have to add a name attribute. Name is equals to text. Let's make it like that. Now we need a form. We need to wrap that thing inside a form element. Form with method is equals to post. This method is equals to post can be anything. Action is the URL we are going to we will come to that shortly. Result, and then this form is going to be inside text area tab. Yeah, here we go. Here it is. Form method is equals to post. Now we have to create something for slash result. We have to create a server for managing that thing. Let's remove this. Inside of we are going to create a new URL where the result of these form, whatever the value the person will add inside this text area, that thing will be thing will be transported, that will be sent to a URL, to any function that is hosted at /results with a HTTP method post. There are many HTTP methods that the browser uses: post, get. These are something close to HTTP. So this is the /result. We are going to add the function. Let's make it bin ratio, and what it is going to return, we're going to return another template that would be our another template with, let's create another template which will keep up the result. So let's make another template that is result.html, and this one will give the heading h1. Oh sorry, it will going to extend from the base one, extends base.html. oh I HEML, sorry, that's why there are not highlights. Yeah, extends base.html, and then the block body, it will copy paste its styles, etc. So that is the main thing for it. In block. Now we are going to give h1. Here's the binary. It is a very simplest project ever, and this is gonna be block quote. This is the block quote tag, and here what we have to do, how the server will provide value. Here we are going to do this val. This is the variable that the server will give to it. On the server side, what we will do, we will render the template that is result.html, and we will give this value as a variable. Val is equals to 01. This is just for testing. Okay, this is nothing but just for testing. And another thing that we have to see for this bin is, what happened, what is the error? No value argument template name, or it's the same, you fucking assholes. Nothing, the error is nothing. So we are going to save it, and in the results this thing is going to be saved. In the base everything is alright, and in the form here, one thing that I in the method is actually post, so this will give an error if we give it a get. So we have to add method. This time it is not method, but it is methods. Methods is equals to post. Actually by default it accepts the get method, but you can also add many methods you want, as get, put. There are many methods out there, you can add much, but for this reasons there are only this. So we only need posts, we are going to use that only, no need of these. So as the form gets submit, let's add a submit button, which I just forgot. Button, and submit. Any button click just submits that thing. So let's and how it will convert to binary, let's implement that function. It is really easy. Now that is the main part that we are going to discuss here. The form actually sends data to /results and with the method post. So here is the server we are going to host at /results. Method is post. Now what we have to do, we have to receive the data that is within this text holder. How does the form that nahi mummy rakh do, how does that server does that thing? In this, name is equals to text. This is the key point of it. And there is another thing in Flask known as request. This thing handles all the request. What is a request? Request is that a web server sends a request to the server. The way it sends the data, that data is actually sent using a request. You can think of request as a postman that works between the client, that is the browser, and the server for sending data. Request is just for sending data. So the all the incoming data that the server receives is inside request.form. Request.form is a kind of Python dict which stores data, and it is mapped to key. If it is be text1, then the data would have sent in the value text1. It is a Python dict. Inside this dictionary, request.form text1 will be mapped to that value. But let's keep it text. It's the same. Now the value will be the text we have is inside request.form, which we can access with request.form bracket text, and let's convert that val into binary. So that is done like this: space dot, you can just copy it, paste from anywhere, equals to for mat ch sorry ord I sorry comma b for I in val. So that thing will be the new value, that is the binary, is equals to this. This will be the binary data, and this is gonna be the val, and the thing which we have to give, this val variable, this is going to have the value binary. Yes, you are right. And what this thing does, the server actually renders the template and replaces this val value with val, this thing. I can also add something like this, for example script, that is just for example, and here I can add something like code, and the value that the oh sorry, what the hell, wait, I have to, yeah, and what I have to add inside that code, I can add any JavaScript like sorry, I just forgot. Code is equals to console.log it works. This is just an example. Everything is going to be copy paste. Whatever is inside code, that is going to be pasted like this. It is going to be replaced with this thing. Now let's see things in action. That form is going to submit all the data once it is pressed into slash result, and slash result is going to render the template. For the slash, we have to render the form.html. So in the slash URL, that is going to be form.html, and everything in base.html2 is fine. Now let's check things out. Just remove this thing. These are the three things that we are going to do. Let's start our server. Here we go. It is starting. Let me check it out. Okay, binary. Since it was center, let's add something. David, this is for you. Oh, as you can see, here's the binary, and let's check out our inspect element queue. Sorry. Let's view our source. What happened? As you can see, inside the script, that code code was replaced with this. It works. It is a bit different, but you won't get it now. And inside the block code, which was actually what was inside result.html, it was val. That val got replaced with this thing. Val is equals to binary. Binary was this, and at last it was all that binary data. Yeah, that's what we do inside of come on, what the hell? This is the binary. I hope you got it very well. That's it. If I add something like smaller, or not binary, let's go back to slash, add something, for example letter A, and then submit. It is going to send it to the server, and again here it is. What? Wait. As you can see, this was the binary, and it was console.log. It worked, and the val was the binary, the space to join. Let's see what our val is. Val is something that we get from request.form text. Control S, and I'm going to stop code run, and then I'm going to run it again like that. Let's open it. Now let's add letter, the spaces. There are many spaces. A, submit, and it was the thing for A, and if you see what it printed, it was A. Isn't it awesome? Now you are enough Flask to be dangerous. Mind my words, you know enough Flask to be dangerous. That request.form, this is where AJAX also come. Another important thing in Jinja 2 that I like is that you can also use Python in it. Yeah, I'm not joking, you can also use Python. For example, if you have to write 100 times P Rayyan, I have to add, for example, this 100 times, then I would have to copy paste it again till 100 times, but not anymore. I can also use Jinja tags that support Python. For I in for example, I have to get a list of 100 things, 1 comma 2, because it does not have range function, but I can also see as a sequence which I can return from the server. Okay, for I in sequence, and then I'm going to end for, because in Python you can use the white spaces, but HTML is actually white space independent. It does not function with white spaces, so indentation won't work. Now the for is going to be ended. This is how we define a loop, and we have to return that sequence. So we are going to implement that sequence as which it is form.html. This one is going to form.html. So sequence is going to be range 100. Okay, so to keep things quite very explicit, let's add something like I2 P span and I. This I is whatever the function will be iterated on I, and let's see that in action. Everything, if you don't get, then you'll get things by practice. So let's stop this code. Where is the output? And let's rerun it. Sorry, I'm going to run the server again. Let's run it. Whoa, as you can see, it's 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything happened till it reached 99, and including 0 plus 99, it's 100. Isn't it awesome? As we saw in the form, for I in 100. Okay, so as the last time, it just got interrupted because I don't have Bandicams, that version. So let's implement if and else inside that block. Let's do it only if the thing is even. For example, if, sorry, not like that, inside a Jinja tag. If I %2, it means if it is odd. Let's add if not I %2. If it is even, then it is going to do this. Else, and if it is not, like percentage elif, elif I %2. Well, let's do not take confusion. If I %2 equals 0. Else, if I %2 is not equals to 0, which is it is odd, then it is going to add FL David's name. Let's copy paste that thing. Instead of span, let's add David. And instead of end for, here we have to just end the if block too, so we will add end if. Now let's see that again in action. Let's indent that thing so that as not to avoid confusion. If and that too. Now indentation keeps things very like this, and till here it is going to be tabbed because everything is inside of it. Now it is everything is maintained. Now let's save it and then restart the server. We are going to run, but first I have to stop it. Output stop code run. But wait, what, as you can see, one thing that I have to stop it each time and restart. What we can do, we can also add thing the port, you can add anyone, space debug is equals to true. That way it stops already whenever it detects the changes and restarts it again. This time I'm going to start it and again, and this time things are as you can see, it is changed. Like 0 is Ryan, it is even, 1 is David, 2 is even, it's Ryan, 3 David, and till 99 the same thing. That's cool. Now you have done a lot inside of it. Let's check out other things. Now I am going to teach you what is called AJAX. For the form, instead of saying it form, we can also do it with the help of some sort of JavaScript. Let's keep these things aside. We can also do it, we don't need form to send it. Let's add it to its place, and whenever submit will be click, let's add Jquery. We are going to use the Jquery. For that, let me first copy paste some Jquery inside of it, or let's use CDN. Okay, let's use CDN, and we can also add it inside this folder, for example, but we can also add it inside this template, but let's add it in base template so that it will be available to all of our pages which are going to extend from it. Sorry, it's script. Okay, here's a shortcut. Script ratio src, yeah, is equals to https ratio / code.jquery.com/jquery 3.5.0.min.js. Here it is. Yeah, it is the perfect. And since the form.html is going to, it is going to extend from base.html, so it would have jQuery inbuilt. So let's add some script. Like whenever button will click $button dot click function, that is our $.ajax. This is how we do things in jQuery way. The method ratio post comma data ratio. So let's add the data as dollar. It is going to be a dict. Here we can also add it as data ratio dollar texteria dot val. It is going to be its value, and the next is we are going to implement is success. Yeah, oh, I forgot success. It is going to alert completed. And that's the simplest way of manipulating AJAX in HTML. Now since the method is post, we can also add it, the method is post. If the method is get, you can also make it as get. And save, and let's we don't need that now because the method is get. The request.form is also not gonna be text. Remember, request.form is this data. This is our request.form, and inside of it there is no text key, there is data key. So what we are going to do is, this time it will be data. Okay, so let's check out our request.form and let's restart the server, and since we don't need to restart it, it will be automatic. Wait, stop code run, and let's start it. Okay, now let's start. Backspace, Ryan, or let's check out that letter A. Submit, completed. Okay. Oh, one thing, sorry, it has to link to that file too. It has alerted what is completed, but it hasn't done anything else. Oh, I forgot one thing. It is going to the URL. URL is going to be where it is. We are going to send it. That is /result. In our result. So what will happen whenever the data to this button is going to click a request, an AJAX request will be sent to /result. Where it is, yeah, it will be sent to /result into this function, and the data, the method will be get, which is by default, and the data will be data ratio text area dot val, which would be this val, the data function, and then whatever the function will return, it is going to be in that success. So success is actually a function, and we are going to do with data. This data is going to be the binary data that the function is going to be returned, like this function that is going to render that template, but instead let's make it return binary. Okay, binary, let's make it return whatever that thing is. It is, this function is going to return binary, and whatever data this thing is going to return, we are going to alert it, alert bin. So you got it. Now let's take it one more time. Time is less cause the request is going to be sent to /result whenever the button is going to be clicked with a request get. Since it is request get, we don't need to add any methods attribute because get is default, and then it is going to return the binary data, which is going to be alerted by success. Success is the callback which manipulates the binary data. Now let's start that thing off. Please do it fast, bro. Okay, now it is going to start. I have only 20 seconds left. Come on. Shit. Fast. Man. Okay, now let's start it. Let's remove it. A, and I'm going to submit it. Something went wrong now. Now let's see the console. What happened? Oh, I just missed one thing. Here it is. I actually missed adding an alert bin. What went wrong? This is it. This is a $.ajax, and yeah, it is alright as I think. But what went wrong? Oh, I added a comma. Yeah, that was a mistake. Now let's check it out again. I'm going to reload it. Yeah, now let's send the A. For some reasons, this functionality is actually not supported by AJAX anymore. So another thing that we have is $.get. If we have to post the get data, $.get, and the URL is /results, and comma, the data is going to be like data ratio that dollar text area dot val, and whatever the function that it will be returned, bin. That is going to be our last attribute, bin, and alert bin. This is a shortcut method of whatever we done so far. If we have to send it via the post method, we can also use draw.post, but since the we have removed that method's attribute to that app.root, we are going to use get, which is the default that app.root supports. It does the same. It's going to give the URL to slash URL and blah blah blah, and here I forgot this thing. Yeah, now it is complete. Let's start. I'm going to reload it, and this is the button A. I'm going to submit. What the hell is happening? Maybe it's like that. Let's do post, and let's implement methods is $.post. Okay, so now what I did wrong was this time that I haven't stopped it. Oh, this was a problem. I got it now. I'm going to run it again. This time I'm going to send letter A, submit. As you can see, the binary appeared. It worked. If I add B, here is the binary. It was working outstandingly fast. Now we don't need methods is equals to .post. You can also save it like that. Control S, and there would instead be a get request. Now let's go again. This one is add the letter A, and let's submit. The same error is occurring. You know why? Actually, I lied. Whenever you have to post data to a server, you can't use $.get. $.get is only for getting the data, for fetching back the data. For sending data to the server, we always use post. That's why both the time it gave error. That was my thing to tell you in a explanation way. Methods is must be post because we are going to send the data to the server. Now if I restart it, let's see what is going to happen. Here we go. And it is going to work again. A, submit. Here we have. If we are Ryan Nafis, submit, and here we have the whole thing. I hope you got the AJAX too now working well. This is the power of AJAX, $.post and $.get. The first argument is the URL where we are going to send the request. The second parameter is the data we are going to send. If it is data, let's add it as not data, let's add as meta, and so we have to change that thing instead of data to this thing will now be meta. And whenever this will return the binary, this is going to be that function, and whatever this thing returned, whatever this binary returned, it is going to be inside this variable and is going to alert that. Now let's get back to our server and let's see how it works now. Again, let's submit. Here we go. This is working fine. If cause we have changed everything else. If that going to be result or only result, then we have to change that thing to result, and that too still will work fine because it is. We just need to keep both things connected with each other. Submit. There it is. Now I think that you got AJAX very well.